to move on from the sport of the NFL, let's talk about
Mm-hmm.
the World Series.
Woo woo.
You and me are both Yankee fans. I would
We are.
admit, way you're a longer Yankee fan than I am.
Mm-hmm.
But for the first time since 2009, the New York Yankees have reached the World Series. I want you to
Yes,
speak
sir.
first because I know you love talking about the Yankees. So you have the floor.
No, it's been a very long 15 years for not only the Yankees, but really within those 15 years, New York sports has faltered quite a bit. Last championship within New York in the core four sports was 2011. So not too much longer after that with the Giants. So New York has been really vying for any sort of momentum when it comes to a championship for the last 13 to 15 years now. So, and this was definitely our best opportunity to do so just with the path to the World Series, gaining the one seed, having the Baltimore Orioles and the Houston Astros get eliminated. And then you had to go through Kansas City and Cleveland, who are not bad teams. The Yankees just completely outmatched them in terms of starting pitching, bullpen work, and hitting, of course. So it was great to see. It was a very dramatic game, that game five,
Oh
with
God.
Stanton hitting the 2-run homer to tie it up, and then Soto going absolutely berserk in the top of the 10th, hitting a 3-run bomb to send the Yankees essentially to the World Series with them closing it out on the bottom of the 10th. So it was great to see. I think it's great for New York. There's a certain energy when it comes to a New York team making the World Series. So it's really awesome to see. And then you watch all the videos online of them replaying that game and replaying that home run. You almost get emotional.
It was so happy to see when I saw Juan Soto hit that home run. I went
Yep.
fucking insane, and it's also crazy to see is like that he's the person who we brought in this year to
Yep.
help us bring us to the World Series, and he's the one who did it.
Yeah. No. Look, there was so many great pieces on the Yankees that really helped them bring me. Other than Judge, who has had a pedestrian playoff so far, he is picking it up a little bit, but he still had a pedestrian playoffs. Stanton winning the ALCS MVP. He's had
Going
four. He had
off.
4 home runs in the ALCS alone, which is unreal. Obviously, Juan Soto doing his thing and just absolutely dominating at the plate. Where you have Ron Darling on TBS wondering how the hell you get this guy out, right?
Yeah.
You have Glaber Torres hitting in the leadoff spot, who has been phenomenal, completely trying to eradicate any sort of bad talk that he had in the regular season. Then you have your normal guys who were showing up. Volpe hitting a lot better.
The young
Luke
kid.
Weaver. Luke Weaver coming out of absolutely nowhere and thinking he's Mariano Rivera these playoffs.
Yeah.
Just showing out. He had one hiccup game, which I think you're allowed.
Yeah, like I said this to a couple other people, like to our Yankee friends, like him having that bad game, like I feel like he's not perfect. It's gonna happen. It's
Yep.
one game, you have to move past it, and that's what he did.
Yes, that's what he did. And then you have the two top of the guys of the rotation, Cole and Rodon, pitching extremely well so far. So it's exciting. Game one on Friday in LA in Dodger Stadium. So it's going to be a doozy. All the games are going to be at 8 o'clock prime time. You got Friday, Saturday, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And if necessary, you go to Friday, Saturday of the following week. So we're in for one hell of a World Series. But I know I just talked about a lot the Yankees. So, Derek, if you want to describe and talk about the NL team, all you.
Okay, so I did say in my bias pick, I did say that the Dodgers were gonna make it to the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers are a great team, and they showed how great of a team they were in the last game against the Mets. The Mets did it by far have a great playoff run. It sucks they lost, but oh well, move on. But there's one thing I will say about the Dodgers compared to the Yankees is that
Mm-hmm.
by looking at it, like if you put the names to names, obviously the Yankees have a better bullpen than the Dodgers. That's one thing I think most people have agreed upon is that the Yankees have a better bullpen than them. But if you look at their lineup, like going through with Otani, they have Muncy, they have Mookie, they have Freeman, they have Teoscar, they have Kiki. I think it's Kiki Hernandez,
Yep.
Chris Taylor. Their team is Will Smith. Their team is outstanding throughout the board. It's going to be hard for the Yankees with their dominant pitching that they've had to go against that team. It's going to be hard for them to pitch. The one good thing for both teams is obviously the rest days. I believe the last game for the Mets, I think it was it Saturday?
Sunday.
It was Sunday. It was Sunday night. So they have 5 days of rest pretty much to have all their pitchers ready for game one. I think that we're going to be in for a good World Series. Dodgers obviously were favored to win the World Series this year with all their additions to their team, Yamamoto, Ohtani, everyone, their $1.3 billion payroll. It's insane. One thing I will say though is that going off the Yankees, this is not even like this is a statement. If I'm the Yankees GM, owner, anyone who's a chairman, anyone, I'm going to Juan motherfucking Soto. I'm giving him a blank check, and I'm saying, motherfucker, write down how much money you want and pay him that money. Because
I agree.
I don't see a reason to why the Yankees let him walk.
No, so I mean, look, that's obviously a problem for after the World Series. You're focused on the next 4 to 7 games as of right now, but I do agree with you where after this season is over, I don't see a scenario where the Yankees don't give him, exactly what he wants, even if they get outbid a little bit by his team, let's just say by the Dodgers or the Mets. I don't think Juan Soto leaves. I just think he's had a great time in New York. He has great chemistry with the guys. He's being protected by the greatest hitter on the planet right now in Aaron Judge. He has a perfect situation.
Yeah.
And in his first season, not to mention that, with a Yankees team that definitely can get better, they made the World Series.
Yeah, if you look at, if you compare the 2017 roster of the Yankees to this roster,
yeah,
it's pretty close. But I would say, me personally, I would say our 2017 roster is a little better. Even though we made it to the World Series this year, I'd say our 2017 roster is better.
It's tough to say because there was just so many different players in 2017. You had that factor of you weren't supposed to be there. So it definitely has its different effects. Now, at the same time, when looking into this World Series, these two teams, the Yankees and the Dodgers, are actually very similar. The Dodgers do open up the betting favorites as minus 125, which for anybody who's a betting man, this series is pretty much even.
Yeah.
And that's how it's going to be throughout each game. The Yankees have a slight edge when it comes to starting pitching. The Dodgers really don't have much other than Flaherty and Yamamoto. And even with Yamamoto, he's still hampered depending on how long he can go because he did rush back for this playoffs. So starting pitching wise, if the Yankees can go deep in their starting pitching, it's going to help them as they go through the games because their bullpen will be more well rested. The one thing that both of these teams do absolutely phenomenal within their lineups is they look at pitches. They work the starting pitching in order to get into that bullpen, and that's where the key of the series is going to be because when you get to games 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and your bullpen is absolutely spent, it's just going to be a battle of attrition at that point.
Yeah, and also, for all you know, say game 5 down the road, it's not like we haven't seen him before. The 5th inning, the Yankees throw in Cole for an inning or something like that.
Yeah, no, well, they're looking. Right now, the Yankees are obviously starting Cole in game 1, which is why it was so big to win in game 5 with Rodon on the bump. But they're looking most likely, from an outsider perspective looking, and we're obviously not sure how they're going to go, but they're going to look at for Cole game 1, 4, and 7. That's the ideal hope here, right? Unless he gets absolutely trounced in maybe game 1 and then you bring in a long reliever because you'll have Stroman and it's rumored that Nestor will be back onto the roster. Yeah, so you do have those opportunities to go to long relievers. You hope not with your ace on the mound, but you have that opportunity. And then the Dodgers announced today that they're going to be sending out Jack Flaherty in game 1, who had a very good game 1 against the Mets and then got absolutely butt-fucked in game 2 against the Mets, where his fastball was almost 3 miles per hour
and it was
down.
It was just hitting. Everyone was hitting it. Everyone saw it was gone pretty much.
Yes, so that's where these factors come into play. When you get to the World Series, there's not a team on either side that isn't fatigued at this point. You're running on fumes. You're giving it everything you got, especially when it comes to a Yankee team who is unbelievable at hitting the fastball. You better have your A stuff.
Yeah, you better pitch. Pretty much, this series, what I could say, is reliant on the pitching.
It will be because you know what you're going to get from the lineups.
Exactly.
The lineups are going to be the lineups. You have the Dodgers 1 through fucking 9 who are unbelievable, as you mentioned. Otani, Freeman, Betts, Edman, Will Smith, Teoscar Hernandez, Kiki Hernandez. It just goes on. And then you have the Yankee side where you have Glaber, Soto, Judge, Stanton, Volpe. You can even put in there, if you want to, Rizzo, who has been hitting the ball better. So both of these lineups, you know they're going to succeed. I don't think the lineups are getting shut out in any way, shape, or form. So, like you said, it's going to be come down to the pitching. It's going to come down to whose bullpen, whose pitching staff can win that battle of attrition and go in there and give it their best shot. I think we're in for a classic.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. And this is what everyone, if you go on Twitter, go on any news article, this is what everyone has been looking forward to. Dodgers versus Yankees, East Coast versus West Coast.
It's
And
been a long time. Since 1981, Derek.
yeah, I'm gonna pull up the clip to where you actually were speaking about this.
I think MLB wants to and needs to see a Yankees versus Dodgers World Series. I mean, that is the battle of the coast. You have the entire nation tuning into that one, right? The last time the Yankees and the Dodgers played in the World Series, you have to go back a long, long time, Derek. The last time they were in the World Series was 81. The Dodgers won that World Series. So it has been now over 40 years since they've met in the World Series. So I just think the MLB needs two big time markets going at it head to head in the World Series, especially when, not to mention, within those markets, you have the two best players in the world. It's almost like this is the perfect meal that a restaurant owner could cook up,
Exactly.
right? The MLB wanted Dodgers versus Yankees, East Coast versus West Coast, Judge versus Otani, the two best players in the universe
Hmm.
facing off on the biggest stage. The ratings from an MLB perspective are going to be off the charts for this series. This, I would be absolutely shocked, and we'll take a look at it in 3 to 4 weeks when the final TV ratings come out. But I will be absolutely shocked if this is not the biggest rating World Series in at least the last 10 years. It's going to be amazing to watch. I cannot wait.
Well, going into the end of the MLB, I do have to ask you. I want your prediction on what the series is going to be. Who is going to win the World Series and how many games will, and what would like the games be?
I am going to do one better than that. Not only am I going to give you the winner of the series and how many games, I'm going to give you the winner of each game just to get sexy with it,
Okay,
if
I
you
like
don't
it.
mind, Derek.
Well, I don't mind.
Okay?
I don't mind.
And we can look back to see how we do. But first and foremost, I think the Yankees take it home. I think they finally take home that coveted for 15 years later, number 28. And I think they take it home in 6 games. How the games are going to go, I believe. Yankees win game 1. Dodgers win game 2. Yankees wins game 3 and 4. Dodgers win game 5. And then the Yankees close it out in LA game 6.
I do agree with you. I do think the Yankees will win. And this is not even me being like biased. I genuinely think that the Yankees will win the World Series this year. I do think they'll win not 4 games to 2. I'd say 4 games to 1.
Wow.
I say the Dodgers.
Wow.
I say the Dodgers do take game 1, and this is going to be crazy to say.
You think that the Yankees are going to get then sweep the gentleman's sweep?
Yes, and the
Wow.
reason why I'm saying this is because I do think they will lose game 1, the Yankees, purely because even though they have a lot of rest, it's gonna be a big atmosphere for all those young guys. It's Judge's first time. If you look at the Dodgers lineup, they've been there already. In 2020, they were there. Some of the people weren't there. Otani wasn't there, and I think Otani, Teoscar, and I think like a couple other people. But like their organization has been here recently. They know what they have to do. The Yankees have not been there in a while. I do think Dodgers take game 1, and then the Yankees gentlemen sweep them.
That is very bold. I mean, would I enjoy that for my mental health? Probably not, because if we lose game one, I'm going to literally start crying. But winning in five does sound pretty good. So
And if
I
we
don't
win
want
in
to.
five, it would be in Yankee Stadium, correct?
It would be, because how the series work now is two games for the number one seed, which is the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go three to the other team, which would be the Yankees, and then you go the last two to the one seed, which would be the Dodgers again. So you'll have two Dodgers, three Yankees, two Dodgers.
This is like another thing. Who do you think will win World Series MVP?
I don't think it's hard, in my opinion. I think he's going to show out. I think he's all the pressure is finally gone. I think Aaron Judge wins World Series MVP.
Really?
I do. I think the pressure of finally making a World Series is completely subsided.
Mm-hmm.
All eyes after the ALCS are on Stanton Soto because of their accomplishments and what they did. I think he's been having some better at bats. He's been walking a lot more, seeing more pitches, which is exactly what he does when he's on. I think he's going to take a deep breath. Not to mention, although, by the way, he absolutely, not Stanton as well, but he rakes in Dodger Stadium.
Oh, yeah, he does. He actually kills
So-
the ball at Dodger Stadium.
So I'm going to go that Judge has himself an Aaron Judge MVP El Capitan series to win the Yankees' 28th championship in his first.
I do think he is going to show out, but I do think Juan Soto is going to win World Series MVP. I don't see it being stopped, because this young kid, this 25-year-old man is just killing everyone. Like, even though he obviously has his off games, but he's playing so well. Like, hitting the ball, fielding, he's doing well. Best that he can do for his position, but still, I think Juan Soto will definitely win World Series MVP if the Yankees win the World Series. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. The winner has the World Series MVP.
Most of the time, I think there has been, oh God, I don't even want to say how many cases, but one more tidbit fact is the last time MVPs of either league have played each other, 1976.
Nope. God. Oh yeah.
So-
I forgot Ohtani and Judge.
So Ohtani versus Judge, MVPs of both leagues, is not only just great for MLB viewing, but it's also historic. Where in 1976, Derek, I will give you, I will literally not ream you for the rest of the NFL season
Okay.
if you could name the 1976 MVPs, and not to mention, I'll even give you a hint, and I'll give you the teams that each of them were on, if that makes it better.
Yes, you have to give me the teams.
Okay, are you prepared?
Yes, I'm prepared.
I'm just going to pull up on my end right now because I forget who wins in the World Series, so I just want to pull that up. But how many games was it? Perfect. So the two teams were the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Yankees.
Okay, I feel like the Cincinnati Reds one should be a gimme.
It is a Hall of Famer, and it is not Pete Rose.
Fuck me. I'm gonna go to the Yankees first.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. I believe in you. How about this? I'm even gonna give you two more hints.
Okay,
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Both MVPs
Mm-hmm.
were catchers.
Oh shit.
It's pretty fucking crazy.
All right, the catcher for the Reds is Johnny Bench,
Correct.
and the catcher for the Yankees. Oh my God, why am I fucking forgetting this? Fucking hell.
I will give you. Oh, Johnny Bench was the World Series MVP. He wasn't the MVP of the year.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Okay, you'll never get the Cincinnati Reds one then. It was Joe Morgan of the Cincinnati Reds. But for the American League MVP was Thurman Munson.
I would have never have gotten that. I could, honest to God, because I've played the actual MLB game.
Yeah.
I could have gotten that.
You're an idiot.
I could have gotten Joe Morgan. But that would have been a good one if it was that. Thurman Munson, wasn't even thinking in my head. Wasn't even thinking of him. But that's
What other?
no.
All right. Yeah. Yes.
I wasn't alive. It's hard for me to go.
But neither was I, Derek.
Yeah, but you studied the shit when you were young. I didn't study the shit until I was like.
I didn't study it.
Oh, shut up.
let's calm down here. I'm not some sort of savvy on.
You know a lot.